potentially could lose our school, we were losing health care, rail line was pulling out, we're losing our elevator system. And it was very detrimental to the community. And so it was kind of, our community kind of put a stake in the sand and said, we're not going to opt into decline, we're going to maintain what we have. So our goal overall of everybody was to maintain everything that was here and make some decisions, because we felt that it was our need to make the decision whether stuff was going to leave or stay, not somebody in an office somewhere. It was our decision. It's about Ogama. I said, no, it's not about Ogama, it's about every small town in Canada.
I'm a filmmaker from Northern Ontario, Canada, and in 2010 I set out to explore the Canadian railway system and to try and understand why it was being thrown away.
Of course, every school kid, maybe they don't teach history anymore, I don't know what the world's coming to, but every school kid used to know, and maybe they still do know, that the railway built Canada.
It's crazy, right? It's a crazy amount of national vision. And it happened, and now I've grown up in a major metropolitan center that was created by rail.
Yeah, the car culture and the truck culture, that's the MTO. Their job in life is building highways.
Often our Ministry of Transportation is referred to as the Ministry of Highways.
How much of, say, Canada's precious money goes into the automobile and all the infrastructure for the automobile? It would be enormous, enormous. And how much goes into rail? It wouldn't compare.
So the provincial government in short line rail in Northern Ontario this year is investing how much?
$15 million in the Northeast region.
And how much is the province investing in roads in Northern Ontario?
$650 million.
You know, no trucker has to worry about owning a road. And if you ever tried to get money, I said to a trucking company one time, I said, you ever tried to borrow money to buy a road? And they said, why would I buy a road?
If they would start funding it in the same way or thinking of rail in the same terms as they do roads, then we might be a lot better off. Because once you start tearing up tracks, it's gone.
So can you talk a bit about the national rail or the national transportation strategy that Canada has?
Well, there is no national transportation strategy.
There was a lot of pressure at the time, just saying, just main lines, put the traffic on the roads and the highways, and we could see the crumbling of the infrastructure.
We received notification from CP Rail that it intended to abandon the rail between Sault Ste. Marie and Sudbury.
They started pulling out track before we even had a deal in place.
Thousands and thousands of miles of track.
In 1989, we had 59,000 kilometers of track in use in Canada. Nowadays, we have about 48,000 kilometers of track.
They were going to abandon railway.
And so their reaction was to send out crews and start tearing out the track right in front of us. It was being pulled out at 2, 3, 4 miles a day.
CPR was interested in discontinuing the service.
Are we going to pull it out today just because it's not making enough money today?
It's very short-sighted policy to abandon rail beds, to tear up rail beds, and to end rail lines for our country. Our country was established with the railroad.
Some time ago, groups of people with a lot of foresight came together to preserve this rail line, taking it over from the CPR really.
Yeah, everywhere you go there's something going on about rail.
Yeah, right?
It really is, yeah.
Also have a very big historical opportunity here to maintain the train system that we have.
But the key thing is to keep the rails in place. If the rails are gone, there's no negotiations and the game is over.
It's the old thing, eh? We're going full circle here. We're going to find passenger service, rail service, I think tremendous growth over the next number of years.